We had a pretty bad accident coming through turns 1 and 2. Sam Mayer was wrecked. Then he took a nap, slid up the racetrack, and got woken up by Natalie Decker crashing into his car like hours later. I didn't like. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about my opinion on that, but I kind of want to get the boys' opinions on this first because I've talked a good amount about this. But Tyler, how did you feel about Natalie Decker? How do you feel about her as a driver, and how did you feel about that incident right there with Sam Mayer?
So the Natalie Decker situation is one hell of a situation. All right. One, she can't drive. Like this is becoming a endless situation of her becoming a hazard on that racetrack. For her to jump on the mic and start screaming to her spotter, what the hell is wrong with a driver that has no steering, no brakes, and a hood draped over his windshield was insane. That's beyond the point, right? Besides the fact that she had 15 seconds to stop her car from going into him like a torpedo. Like, it was insane. The whole thing was absolutely insane. You have that whole incident itself was not cool. On top of her image that she's trying to bring in is just disappointing. There's entirely too many females right now in NASCAR doing great things and actually good at what they do and are being completely just looked over and people don't even know they exist because you have girls like her right now posing with what's his name? The Burt guy, I think
Burt
is
Kreischer.
whatever his name. Yeah, with her fire suit halfway down and her 2-year-old son standing to the side. So I mean, I get it. Yeah, NASCAR is about hillbillies and all these things, but we have really good drivers in this sport that deserve recognition, and they're not getting it because of this. And it's sad to watch, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to watch it happen. Like everybody thought Danica was bad. I thought Danica was bad when I was a kid. I thought she was a wreckaholic, but no, that is nothing compared to what Decker's done in this sport. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm not very fond of Natalie Decker at all. I've given her opportunities because she's been around for a couple years now. She's ran a bunch of truck races. She ran ARCA races. She's driven a good amount of O'Reilly Series races. I think this was her 14th. I think this was her 14th race in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And I'm going to compare back to Cletus a little bit here because I think a lot of people are giving Cletus a lot of shit, and a lot of people are giving Natalie Decker a lot of shit. But the big difference I would say is, well, Natalie Decker has been here, done that. She's been around for years at this point, and she's still making dumbass rookie mistakes like that. And she never took accountability. She still hasn't taken accountability for that wreck. That wreck was 120% her fault. Was she going like 200 miles per hour? No, but she was still going at a good pace. I would guess she was going at least 130 miles per hour, which is a lot faster than what you should be going when the caution's already out and there's wrecked cars on the track in front of you. You should be going probably 60 or 70 miles per hour. You probably should be looking through the windshield, and some people are just going to stop on the racetrack. Some drivers just stop on the racetrack, and that's not a bad go-to either. Someone like Cletus McFarland, he had two big wrecks in front of him in the ARCA race. Guess what? He got through both of them. He got through both of them, and he slowed down properly. I I don't know what to make of it. Natalie Decker, in my opinion, should get her NASCAR license taken away. The whole system screwed up. That's why when we were saying earlier that what happened with Cletus was NASCAR's fault. What's happening with Natalie Decker is kind of NASCAR's fault, but I would put a little bit of it on Natalie as well, just because of how long she's been around. She's been around for years and she's still making dumbass mistakes. She has a really bad image on the sport. She was talking the other day about her how she met her husband when she was like 14 or 13 or whatever the hell she was. It's embarrassing. Carson,
Call me when you're 18.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. Carson Elledge, I think it's how you pronounce her last name. Carson Elledge went in on her on door bumper clear. Carson, of course, is I want to say the niece. I'm correct about that. I think the niece of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and uh, Taylor Reimer made some comments earlier. Of course, Taylor Reimer, the ARCA driver, also the girlfriend of Corey Heim. Jade Avicine, I don't think I've ever heard her name pronounced, so I don't know if that's right or not. But we've seen a bunch of women drivers come out over the last couple of days. She's put a bad image of women drivers out there because she doesn't have any skill. She doesn't really have. I guess she has a personality, but it's not a very good personality, I would say. And in my opinion, she really gets all her clicks and all her sponsors and everything that she does purely on sexuality, which isn't the way we should be doing this. Like a lot of people gave Danica shit back in the day, but Danica, she made her name because she was a great IndyCar driver. The sexy stuff came later. Like because she was a great IndyCar driver, she started going on Sports Illustrated and doing that sort of stuff. But Danica was a very talented IndyCar driver, and she would have won at Montreal in the Nationwide Series years ago if she didn't hit a fucking shoe. So I hate this for the sport, having a driver like Natalie Decker around. But Cory, how do you feel strongly about this? Me and Tyler, I think, went off a little bit, but how do you feel about this Natalie Decker situation as a whole?
I don't feel as strongly as you guys do. Not that the situation wasn't bad, but that like more I'm just more disappointed that it happened
Yeah,
because like I think we can all agree that women in auto racing are under a microscope like
for
at all
sure.
times
Because
compared
one
to
hasn't
men.
really broken through yet.
Anytime they fuck up, it's everywhere. It's why are they here? It's all this other shit. And if they didn't even play the microphone of what she said, everyone would still be talking about why is she in the sport. It's what she said on the mic that drove people nuts. Like, obviously, I think she did try to save face in the interview after she got checked out, but it's such a bad look. And that's why Ed Carson Elledge and the other ARCA women drivers come out and just say, like, this isn't the image I portray. Like, this isn't what I want to be known for. And man, it just leaves a bitter, nasty taste in your mouth because if you know auto racing and you know of the drivers you mentioned, there are women in this sport that deserve to be there, that deserve chances. And when the national media sees that of the only woman driver of the weekend do that and complain like that, it just makes it look like they don't belong when all of us like when diehard racing fans know that there are some women that deserve to be here. And that's what makes the whole situation suck is that that microphone being live on TV is ridiculous. And it it just sucks because we all want to see a woman do well in NASCAR. And I feel like we took two steps backwards from that ever happening with what Natalie said on that radio.
Yeah, I didn't like what she said on the radio, and I agree with her interview. I guess she was saving face a little bit. She was just very coy about the whole thing, but at the same time, she still didn't take any accountability. It seemed like for the wreck, still kind of seemed like she was trying to blame the spotter almost. At least that's what it appeared like to me. How did you take that interview? Did you feel like she took accountability? Because I personally didn't. I didn't think she took accountability, and that's what I was kind of looking for from that interview, Cory.
I agree. I don't think she took straight accountability. I think she took back the words she said in
About
the
Sam Mayer,
car.
yeah.
I think that's what people were looking for. They were trying to get another click or another, highlight of her blaming Sam Mayer for having a
Yeah.
destroyed car. And she did good by not mentioning that again. I don't remember her taking blame for it. I remember her saying, well, my spotter said I was clear, or my spotter said stay top. Like I heard some two or three different interviews from it, and I'm like, none of that's what people want to hear. Like none of that's what a future team wants to hear. You take accountability, you say, dang, I messed up, and apologize, you have another chance. I'd be surprised if we see her back.
Yeah, I personally just don't want to see her in a NASCAR vehicle anymore, and she can go do whatever and make good money, because the sexuality part of it, she talked about making an OnlyFans and stuff like that, so she can do whatever she wants and go make money. I don't want her being part of NASCAR anymore. Personally, I don't want to see her in another race. I've given her plenty of opportunities. Uh, like like I'll bring Jesse Iwuji into this real quick. Like at least someone like Jesse Iwuji, who I don't think is a very good driver. I don't think Jesse Iwuji is a very good driver. I don't think he has really any skill. He shouldn't be out there just like Natalie Decker. But Jesse Iwuji at least has the passion for it. He at least brings positivity to the sport. I've heard Jesse Iwuji is one of the nicest guys. He was a military member. He owns his own freaking race team. You know, at least someone like Jesse Iwuji can bring a lot of different things to the sport other than a shitty driver with a shitty personality. You know, Jesse Iwuji has a great personality. He's great for the sport, I'd say. I would love to see Jesse Iwuji more often. I heard he's actually coming back here in the next couple of weeks, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not fond of Natalie Decker, and hopefully we don't see her around anymore for NASCAR's sake. And I think a lot of other people in the NASCAR industry, it looks like they're all kind of having similar thoughts right now. I think this is one of the few times that everybody's on the same page. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about Natalie Decker, her incident, and her potential future in the sport?